Coach, the energy out there felt different. What changed for the team today?
It was the new game day scratchers from the California Lottery. Players, everything. Those games sent the team's energy through the roof.
Are you saying it was the off-field play that made the difference on the field?
Hey, a little play makes your day, and today, it made the game. That's all for now.
Coach, one more question.
Play the new Los Angeles Chargers, San Francisco 49ers, and Los Angeles Rams Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Support American-made tariff-free clothing with American Giant with American Giant. They aren't affected by tariffs because their clothing products never left the U.S. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code STAPLE20 at american-giant.com.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
In a so-called free state, officials and stakeholders concoct solutions to problems often created by other bureaucrats and with little regard for infringements on the people. These stories are born at the apex of freedom and entrepreneurship. We foolishly advocate for the taxpayer. Brian's Beat presents Freedom Fools.
And a very good afternoon. Freedom, freedom, freedom. This is one of those shows born out of the apex of freedom, entrepreneurship, and nomadism. Welcome to Saturday afternoon. It's a tailgating type of day. Maybe a little more sun, but let's party. And welcome back. Welcome back to Freedom Fools. It's Aunt's Day. It's Fight Procrastination Day. And you know you got to fight it when it's tough getting out of bed in the morning, even on a Saturday morning. And as I said before, it's National Tailgating Day. Maybe tomorrow should be Tailgating Day. Pardon me. Opening day for the Patriots and my Las Vegas Raiders. You know, I say my Las Vegas Raiders. They're my Raiders. I'm an Oakland Raider guy. I could stomach the LA Raiders, but I'm getting used to, not too comfortable yet, but I'm getting used to the Las Vegas Raiders. In fact, I'm one of those that thought that Vegas and Atlantic City, those were two taboo spots for sports. You don't put professional sports teams there because they are the betting capitals, East Coast, West Coast of the United States. Well, I don't really expect a team to go to Atlantic City. But look, we've got two in Vegas now, a third coming. How long will it be before there's a Major League Baseball team there? I think Pittman and I were talking a little bit about that a couple hours back. On this date in 1628, the Puritans said, "Hey, this looks pretty good." And they settled in Salem, Massachusetts. President McKinley fatally shot in Buffalo, New York. He was at an expo. Not for long. That was in 1901. And let's go back 53 years. Hard to believe it's been that long. I think I was a sophomore in high school. Remember the Olympic Games taking place in Munich? And there was a Palestinian group that kidnapped a bunch of Israeli athletes. It was on this date that 9 Israeli athletes were massacred, along with a German policeman and 2 other Israeli athletes actually died the day before, after they were taken hostage. I think that was a vivid explanation to me of some of the crap that was going on at that particular time. We had some planes hijacked. But it was that ultimate thing that happened again. That was 1972. I think that was the Olga Corbett Olympics when she did that bizarre backflip off of the uneven bars there. Whew. Anyway, the quote of the day: the soldiers never explained to the government when an Indian was wronged, but reported the misdeeds of the Indians. The soldiers never explained to the government when an Indian was wronged, but reported the misdeeds of the Indians. That was a quote from the famous Chief Geronimo. 508-996-0500. Let's see, later on, like hour 3, we do have a guest. I've been talking to quite a few of the groups that are moving forward. You know me. You got to be an activist. I'm a talk show host that's an activist. I have friends that are activists that are talk show hosts. But I'm the other way around. And so I am so happy to report that I believe 39 of a possible 47 ballot questions. No, I'm off on that. 44 of a possible 47 ballot questions were approved by the Attorney General. When I say approved, they were certified. And so I've been talking to some of the proponents of these ballot measures, and we will talk to more as the days and weeks go on, leading up that we're getting into the signature process right now. And if you want change, then it's up to you to be a part of that change instead of sitting around twiddling your thumbs and saying, well, hopefully they can make it happen. We have to try to make it happen. That stated, one of the ballot questions that is moving into the signature phase deals with rent control. And so we're going to talk to someone, a community organizer from the United Interfaith Action Group. They're actually a group that's based out of southeastern Massachusetts. And so we're going to talk to Tracy Albanese during the 3 o'clock hour this afternoon. Something came up earlier this week. I really didn't get to it because we had a short week, first of all. But then there are other things, including these ballot measures that I wanted to talk about. And so we did, and yesterday I was off. Maybe you saw this on CNN. Now, I know many people are shying away from CNN because of its so-called biased coverage, and I get it. I don't watch it anywhere near as much as I used to. You know, the one thing about CNN, I will commend them on this. When CNN was basically the only game in town, I thought that they were pretty straightforward. Now, there was nothing really to measure that by. But I think now that there's a Fox, now that there's an MSNBC, now that there's a Newsmax, now that there's YouTube, and all the massive array of independents that have left network coverage, whether CNN, MSNBC, Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS. Now you can go to YouTube and you can see people that you wondered, well, where did they go? There they are, and they're doing excellent reporting. And of course, I'm a little biased. I've been in that pool before, and I think I've got an ear and an eye for what they're doing and what they're saying and how to check it out. This one here, anybody can check out. Speaker Mike Johnson. You know, Johnson. Speaker Mike Johnson, he was on CNN. And basically he made a statement. I don't know how wild this is. I'm going to ask you. He alleged that Donald Trump, not today's Donald Trump, but the Donald Trump first president, first time around, I guess 45, excuse me. Donald Trump was an FBI informant against Jeffrey Epstein. Here's Johnson's quote from CNN. When he first heard, back up, he being Donald Trump, when he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. Speaker Mike Johnson, what do you think of that? Because my thought process is and has been, and until there is something, and I don't mean it as something significant to make me change my mind, my thought process continues to be that this is a bunch of malarkey. Not that I don't think Donald Trump would ever be an informant for anybody at any time. I think that this is to try to steer us clear of what's going on with Epstein. And more to the point, I believe it is to make us want to try to talk more about Epstein so we're not following the economy, not concentrating as much on what's going on in Gaza or the West Bank, and faintly keeping one eye open on Ukraine and the tariffs. That's what I think all of this is. Because how would Speaker Johnson know if Donald Trump was an informant for the FBI? And if he did know, why the hell would he open his mouth on CNN? That doesn't make any sense to me. And so, as I throw this into your lap, I would like your opinion. Do you think Speaker Johnson is correct that Donald Trump was an informant for the FBI in the particular case dealing with Jeffrey Epstein? And if he was, why would Trump ever invite Epstein to Mar-a-Lago unless you're trying to get information from him? But if you're trying to get information from him about him, why would you then kick him out? Doesn't seem to make sense. 508-996-0500. So, do you believe, if you're the FBI, why would you use Donald Trump as an informant, a person who's a loose cannon? I don't think anybody will disagree with that. You'd never know what he's going to say. So if you're the FBI and you want an informant, don't you want somebody who knows when to talk and when not to talk? Instead of, well, I'm just going to fly off the cuff. And why would you tell Speaker Johnson, who probably wasn't a speaker at that time? In fact, we know he wasn't a speaker at that time. That time would be during the first Trump administration. Unless Mike Johnson is also an informant. I mean, we could really go around the maypole with this. I just find it hard to believe. I think, and maybe it's my bias here, I think we are led down this particular road to throw the scent off. It's like the bloodhounds are out, and basically you're throwing a little raw meat to the left to get us sniffing in a different direction. So we're not talking so much about the economy. We're not talking so much about tariffs, which you're right, that's part of the economy. We're not talking about the jobs numbers. By the way, is the new person head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is that person going to get fired now? After the horrendous jobs numbers that came out the other day? See, on Friday, I guess yesterday, the jobs numbers showed, I believe, 22,000 jobs added. And the projection was just under 80,000. 22,000 projected. And if I remember correctly, the numbers from the previous month got scaled back. I can tell you that's the case from week to week because right here in front of me, I have the latest unemployment claims. And these numbers go Saturday to Saturday. Saturday, August 30th. 237,000 new unemployment claims. Nationwide, 237,000. From the week prior, that's up 8,000. Now, these numbers will change. Mark my words on this. Next week, you'll see revised numbers. But if we're talking about Epstein, if we're trying to make people believe that President Trump was an FBI informant, again, here's the quote from Speaker Mike Johnson. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down, this stuff being human trafficking. Of all people, the FBI is looking to President Trump to be an informant to help take down human trafficking. Does anybody see the comedy in that thought process? You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm finding it very, very difficult to believe. Statewide, in the Bay State, the number of people that filed an unemployment claim from 1 week to the next 710 more here in the Commonwealth this past week compared to the week prior. 5,019 first-time unemployment claims on August 30th. That's up from 4,309 on August 23rd. Now, not only here, but I'm going to assume nationwide, August is a big change. There was a time when kids had the entire month of August off from school. that's not the case anymore. If you go to any of the area ice cream stands, whether in Dartmouth or Fairhaven, Acushnet, Westport, Dartmouth, Mattapoisett, they've reduced their hours. They've reduced their hours because a lot of their employees have gone back to school. A couple of places that I frequent, this back porch located in Fairhaven. I called one day basically trying to find out because they changed their flavors. So I called one day, a little after noon, and I wasn't getting an answer. And so I called back a little bit later on, and the owner answered, and he said, well, we've changed our hours now because the kids have gone back to school. They now open up at 4 o'clock. Kind of feel sorry for these ice cream stands because they've got a limited period of time to operate. And with school starting up the third or the fourth week in August, that makes it difficult. Now, you might be saying, well, Brian, it's just the last week of August. Some schools started earlier. Around here, it was the fourth week, and some schools actually started after Labor Day. The point being is when these kids stop working at the food places, some of them, depending on their age, they will apply for unemployment. Some of them just go back to school. So as you can see, we have a difference, 1 week difference of 710. Now, I'm not going to blame this on President Trump. Schools have been going back long before, well, not long before, but certainly before this term and during the Biden term. They have been going back. This predates the crisis called pandemic. So I'm not surprised that unemployment has gone up. But the other day, the president had a statement that basically hinged on the fact that, you know, the numbers that you're seeing right now, he doesn't really care about. He's not really surprised at. Now, he didn't say whether the numbers would be good numbers or bad numbers, but the president of the United States wants us to look ahead, like a year down the road, to see what the numbers say at that particular time. I'm going to say this. If the numbers mirror anything what they are right now, Mr. President, you're going to have a really rough time during the off-year elections coming up in 2026.
And bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
I just think we need to kill them, every one of them, and that's it. And if not that, because the country will not let that happen, the government. Just the least we can do is just kick them out of our land, because this is our home, this is our land, and we deserve it.
This is our home. This is our land. 508-996-0500 to get onto the program today. Freedom, freedom. Everybody wants freedom, or at least people say they want freedom. I'll tell you what. Freedom to me means options. It means choices. The Powerball jackpot is estimated at $1.8 billion tonight. That could buy a whole bunch of freedom. A whole bunch. And wouldn't you like to have some of that money? if you had that money, I want you to think about this for a second. If you had, let's say, 1.8, let's say you're going to get about $800 million if you took the one lump sum payment, about 800 mil. Would you sell your house if you own a house? Would you buy a house if you own a house? Would you change your heating structure of that house? Would you opt for a better television and internet service? Reason why I'm going down this road. The other day I was reading in the Substandard. Who wrote the story? Was it Matthew Ferrero? Acushnet may get a new option for internet and phone service with no contracts required. Now, I'm not going to read the story to you, but basically, it's something that we've talked about for many years on this station. The lack of choices, the lack of options when it comes to your cable and internet service provider. In Dartmouth, our choices are Comcast, Xfinity, whichever name you want to give it. You can go Verizon, but you're not going to get TV service from Verizon. And I would like faster internet service. I would like less expensive internet service. I have talked to at-large New Bedford City Councilor Brian Gomes, and he's been at the forefront of trying to bring in more or varied services for folks here in the backyard, in particular New Bedford. There's no competition. And since there's no competition, we're stuck with whatever pricing Comcast/Xfinity meets out. Oh, they might shave off a couple of bucks. They might have a senior citizen discount. But by and large, they've got you by the short hairs, and they know they don't have to let go. 508-996-0500. Hello.
Brian, you're an acquired taste, and I've come to acquire loving for you.
Well, thank you. Just don't lick your chops.
Say, what?
Don't lick your chops.
I know. It's so hard, right?
How can I help you?
Well, you were talking about something just recently, right?
I hope so.
What were you saying?
About the
nonsense,
internet service, or about the Powerball, or about the Trump and the economy,
right?
Yeah,
and I think that's what really just motivated me to call in, because I just wanted to tell you and all your listeners that yes, it's very nice to daydream about what you do with all that money, but I didn't buy a ticket tonight because I don't want that burden. And I don't know if anybody can else understand what I'm saying, but I don't want the burden of having all that money. From going
look, I don't think you have to worry about it. I mean, at least give it I said I don't think that's too much to worry about.
No, but I don't want the burden of just going from a pretty decent middle-class life to having all the responsibility of like $500 million. Man, it's cool to daydream about, but man, I don't want that burden.
What do you think would happen to you?
I would just give it all away. And the other night when you were talking about...
You would give it away? I'm in line.
What?
I'm in line.
Yeah, no. I most of it I would just give it away. And the other night I heard you rambling on about the Black Panthers.
And the Fruit of Islam.
I heard, and the new Islamists or whatever doing all that business. And I think you said something like you'd give them each like $5 million. Is that what you said?
I'm not sure if I said 5 or 1, but I didn't win.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you said either. But I'll tell you this: I'm like the whitest white man you could ever imagine. Yeah, and I'm mixed. I'm Irish and Sicilian, so I can handle a tan. That's fine. But in the Army, most of my real good friends in the Army were black guys, or black women. And I really enjoyed that, getting to understand their culture and, and having good times and not worrying about what color our skin was. Just let's go out and have a good time,
Okay, I get that. This is more of a crime
I'm right
fighting.
There with you 100%, Brian.
It's just a crime fighting tool.
Yeah. And we got to do whatever we can, We got to take care of the people we love in this world, right?
I think it's that. I also believe it's about protecting your community. And look, the large. Hold on, just 1 second. Since you brought it up, one of the main reasons I would bring that up, and I brought it up, is to show that the government could really give a rat's you-know-what about the black communities. And so by giving that money, all of a sudden somebody's showing that they do care. And these organizations that are out there, the people in those communities do, they may have disrespect for one or two members in that community, but the community itself, they admire. They admire what the Panthers do. They admire what the Fruit of Islam does. So they
Brian,
would be out there supporting them.
I have no doubt about that. That's why I called in to let you know and reinforce what you said the other night. Okay?
Yeah.
I
appreciate it.
I'm just like this 50-year-old Sicilian, third-generation Sicilian guy, Irish and Sicilian, and I try to make my neighborhood better all the time. But I'll tell you this, and everybody that's listening also knows this. There's a lot of people in the neighborhood that just don't want to let you do good things. They just
think
don't.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, but that to me, that's part of the riffraff, and groups like we're talking about help to ward out the riffraff.
Yeah, but Brian, I don't care what everybody else has to say. If there's no Portuguese lady living next to me, I'm going to go out there, and if I can help her out, I'm going to help her out. I don't care what the rest of the people say. If they don't like me, they don't like me. But you know something? The day will come when they wish they had me on their side.
All right, man. Sounds good. Go out and get a ticket or two.
I love you. And like I said, you're an acquired taste, and I'm so glad I acquired that taste.
Well, like I said,
you're the best, man. You're the best.
Don't be licking your chops.
I love you so much. I listen to you every day.
Thank you.
God bless you, Brian.
Same to you. 508-996-0500. That's how you get onto the program. I'm not sure that I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket or tickets. If I do, and if I win, I will hold true. I will double check. Better still, if the jackpot really is $1.8 billion and I win, whether or not I said 1 million to each organization, I will make it 5 million to each organization. They could use the money. They do good things with the money. They have charitable wings. They could help fortify and open up businesses. It's funny. if you don't have the money, if you do get it, you can do a lot with $1 million or $5 million. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Hi.
No, I'm not.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? I'm saying you are, because you're high up there on the love list. How about that?
Yeah, if it sounds good. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I missed you so much yesterday.
Why? Where was I?
You were on. I don't know where you were, but you weren't on.
No, I was not feeling well yesterday.
Yeah, so was it an after effect from the surgery?
No, it was after effects from food that I ate.
High.
No, food that I ate Thursday night.
Oh, okay. You know, my friend in Canada, there's a whole bunch of people getting sick right now from a pizza, frozen pizza. It's called Toppers or Tops. And I told her I don't think we have it. But she said, well, America might have it under a different name. She went to the emergency room, and they said that she was the 5th person to come in within a matter of hours. And so they're informing the CDC about it.
Are there any people left in the CDC after RFK kind of wiped them out?
Of course there are. Come on now.
Please hold.
I love the way you just slipped that right in. That was like perfect for you.
Well, you know, sometimes I wake up.
Yeah, you was very well when you jiggled that right in there. So it's just a touch of food poisoning then, huh?
I don't know that it was food poisoning as much as it was overindulgence.
Oh my goodness, Parian, not you.
So there I was watching football, and I wanted something good to eat while I watched football, and I got the wrong stuff. Woman friend kind of looked at me, and she said, "Is it organic?" I said, "No, but and there you go."
You know what? I've been thinking about you a lot anyways, everybody at the station, because I do the Halloween bags, but I'm not going to do them this year. I'm going to start baking. I want to bake pies and cheesecakes. I want to perfect making a pumpkin cheesecake. And but I was thinking about you because you love pecan. And I was like, I want to make the best pecan pie you've ever had. But I know with your diabetes, but you do overdo it. But you say you make up for it by being very good. So I'm wondering.
I overdo it, but I make up by being very good. So there's something oxymoronic about that statement, you know.
Now, last year, you said you went back for some more pecan. And you said, I know, but I'm so good, and I'll be really good after this.
And I was.
And you were. And I remember that's when I realized about your diabetes as well. So,
well,
anyway,
I appreciate it. Let me just dispel.
Okay.
By October 31st, I will be pure organic.
Pure organic. Okay. Yeah. What took you so long?
So I have a schedule. My eating habits changed after Labor Day Monday, and they progressively change going into October. And by the time I get to
Thanksgiving,
I get to open up again. I open up. I'm on a slow cleanse between now and my birthday, which is in November before Thanksgiving. Then I kind of let loose.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to perfect baking pies this year. I don't know. I still might make Halloween bags, but I think they might be a little smaller because I really want to do the pie stuff. I don't think Tim likes a cheesecake. And my apple pies are good. I'm not a baker. I love cooking. I'm very good at cooking. Baking is it's not new. I make really great apple pies. The latticing over it might not look pretty, but it's okay because you'll know that it's really homemade. So yeah, I just got to learn how to make a good crust for the cheesecake. Not a lot of people like the graham cracker crust. So I'm going to explore how I can make an organic vegetable plant-based crust. I know that sounds crazy, right? But
no,
that's what I'm going
there are plenty of them out there. It's not crazy. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. That gentleman that said he loves you so much, I love you so much. I haven't told Tim this in a while either. I love waking up to him every morning. He makes my morning so good. I feel so good waking up with him every morning.
So you wake up to Tim and you go to bed to me?
Yes.
I like that idea. She goes to bed to me. Yoo-hoo!
Well, you know what? I love spending my evenings with you because you are such a calming, I don't know what it is, but you have such a calming effect, at least on me. And I love it. Even when you're mad and outraged about things, I still find you very calming. And I really do enjoy ending my evenings with you, Brian. And you are very much appreciated over here.
Well, thank you.
And you're welcome. Thank you for blessing me with your voice. And another thing, so the lottery, yes, you said you would give $5 million to the Panthers and... Gosh,
Fruit of Islam. And a woman friend
right.
has texted me to say, yes, I did say 5. So, okay, 5 it is.
Yep.
I'm not going to up it anymore.
No, but you know what? If I win, it's $1 billion. At you, everybody I know, my acquaintances that I enjoy, think that they're, decent human beings. Everybody's going to get money, $5 million plus. Gives us $1 billion daggone dollars, and I'm going to give every charity that I can think of that I even donate to throughout the year. They're going to get a bunch of it, right? And here's the thing: I bought $20 worth for Wednesday's drawing. I got 4 power play balls. Is it?
I don't know.
Tickets.
I don't play the game.
Like me neither. But
it sounds like you do.
Well, no, because it's $1 billion, billion plus. It's 1.7 billion, or that was anyways. So I bought them, and out of the 20 tickets, I had 4 power play balls. I think that's what it's called, and 1 number. And I think one of them I have 2 numbers, but I don't know how much it's worth, and I haven't cashed them in to find out.
All right. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that.
No, I have to tell you real quick. I went and bought 20 more in Dartmouth at the Cumberland Farms, and there was a homeless man there. I see him quite often sitting there. He's an older man. He's very nice, very respectful person. So I gave him a chicken salad sandwich, and I gave him one of my 20 tickets. I said, I said to him, many blessings. I hope he wins, Brian, because you know what?
He could use the money.
Right, and you know what? Wouldn't that be fun?
All right, let's leave it at that. I'm running out of time here. Thank you.
All right.
I do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a great one, and thank you for the kind words. 508-996-0500. Thank you for your patience. Hello,
Brian. I know I shouldn't have called in for another time, but Sketty was just so cool. I had to call back in and say,
all right,
that's why we listen. We listen for people like Sketty and Mary.
Thank you. I appreciate it. One time. Really,
Mary, right?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Please, just one time, though. Really.
This is an act of terror.
WB.
At least one of the vests was labeled HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. We have a much larger presence down here now.
That was a reporter out of Washington, D.C., talking about the ICE, Homeland Security presence in the city of Washington. I think the president made a comment the other day about the fact that restaurants are getting business, where the people in D.C. are saying that folks aren't going to the restaurants. And the fear is that many of these restaurants are going to start closing down. Now, the president was stating when it did come to restaurants that aren't open or aren't open as many hours, he was blaming it on the crime in Washington, D.C. Well, if that's the case, why is it that all of a sudden over the past 3 or 4 weeks, the numbers at the restaurants are down, and when crime was reportedly up, so were the trips to the restaurants? And the tourism has gone down. I bring this up because there is a genuine fear on my part, that there's going to be more ICE. I'm going to use the term ICE. We'll just say federal agents coming to the greater Boston area. I include down here as part of the greater Boston area. The Trump administration is trying to sue the Wu administration in the city of Boston for not complying with the federal government rules. I don't know how far that's going to go, if it goes anywhere. But the main bone of contention is this. If there are going to be more federal agents coming into the greater Boston area, there'll be more folks not willing to go out to restaurants, not willing to go to some of the tourist attractions, because word gets out. All right, you've got guys like Tom Holman who will go out there and we're bringing hell, and all of a sudden folks find out, well, hell is in Boston. Do you think they're going to want to go out to the Cheers bar or places like that, not knowing what could happen? We already have a case in point, Washington, D.C. Today, and I can hardly wait till the numbers come in, there's some Mexican independence celebration going on in the city of Chicago. If you listen to the ABC News, I'm sure they'll talk more about it. There's a thought process that the Trump administration is going to have the federal agents in Chicago, basically to try to round up folks that are here illegally. My guess is, and I mentioned this to Pittman earlier, and he kind of agreed. He understood where I was coming from. That's going to make people decide not to go to the celebration in Chicago today. People don't go to the celebration. You've got people that are outside vendors who aren't going to see the business. You've got folks that have printed T-shirts, all kinds of stuff like that. They're going to lose money. And as we're going to find out maybe today, but certainly during the coming week, what some of the top economists are saying about the tariffs that are going on. So they won't be my words. And I'll let you make your own decision. But the writing is already there in the wall. This is why I keep on saying the more we hear about Epstein, good, bad, indifferent, whether the president's talking about it, Mike Johnson is talking about it, CNN is talking about it, the survivors of Epstein are talking about it. To me, it's to keep us from talking about some of the other stuff that is going on. We'll talk more about this after ABC.
Everything from clothing to household items are getting more expensive each day. The world of fast fashion has complicated clothing production by outsourcing around the world to whoever can sew them the cheapest. And now you, the consumer, are paying the price with rising costs. American Giant is about keeping things simple and close to home. They aren't affected by tariffs because their products never leave the U.S. So when you buy from American Giant, you're taking a stand for hardworking people, local communities, and quality clothes. American Giant directly supports American manufacturers and ensures you aren't footing that tariff bill. Support American-made, tariff-free clothing with American Giant with American Giant. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code STAPLE20 at american-giant.com. That's 20% off when you use code STAPLE20 at american-giant.com.
Coach, the energy out there felt different. What changed for the team today?
It was the new game day scratchers from the California Lottery. Players everything. Those games sent the team's energy through the roof.
Are you saying it was the off-field play that made the difference on the field?
Hey, a little play makes your day, and today, it made the game. That's all for now.
Coach, one more question.
Play the new Los Angeles Chargers, San Francisco 49ers, and Los Angeles Rams Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Hi, I'm Sherry from LifeSource Water. Did you know Bay Area cities add chemicals like chlorine and chloramine to disinfect the tap water, on top of contaminants they can't handle, like microplastics and forever chemicals? At LifeSource, we believe your water should support your family's health. Our whole house water system filters every drop that enters your home, delivering clean, healthy water to every tap, shower, and appliance. Family owned for 3 generations, we build every system, install it, and offer factory direct pricing. So end your water worries and upgrade to the essential home appliance you'll love using every day. Drink, bathe, cook, and live clean with LifeSource Water. Now we are offering a double dip in savings. Free basic installation plus an extra $250 off. That's up to $1,200 in savings. Call our factory at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com. Hurry, offer ends September 30.
Warranty limitations apply.